At first glance, Journey to a Savage Planet seems as if No Man's Sky and a Borderlands had a baby. But it's a lot more than that, thank God. I would say its heaviest inspiration is actually the 3D Metroid games. In Savage Planet, and I'm gonna call it Savage Planet from here on out, you're employed by Kindred to discover new planets and see if they're hospitable for human life. Thankfully, this game only takes place on one planet. I think planet hopping like in a No Man's Sky would have been too much. That's not to say the visuals aren't diverse though. There's plenty of landscapes to keep the eyes from getting bored. You quickly set off, after a pretty humorous video from one of the employees at Kindred, off to get a gun.
For almost 30 years, Kindred has been striving to help humanity expand beyond the confines of Earth. And I am excited to announce that many industry observers now consider us the 4th best interstellar exploration company.
Yes, you're on this planet with no equipment. You have to make everything you need as far as gun upgrades, suit upgrades, and more. Sounds complex, but it's just a matter of gathering resources from creatures after you kill them, like aluminum, carbon, and silicon. The storyline dictates which upgrades you're going to need to focus on next. For example, if you need a grapple to continue, you would need to divert, go get the materials for the grapple, create the grapple, and then you can continue from where you left off. You will be diverted off your main missions, tons in this game.
Gonna need more than that can-do attitude to climb that wall. The cartographers identified an unstable liquid gas nearby. If you want to upgrade your jetpack, I'd go find some.
And that's what I meant by the game being inspired by the 3D Metroid games, since there is some backtracking to be done. After a while, it'll feel like any little step towards progression is immediately blocked by the need to go get this thing first. I feel like the developers should have just let me rest with my current power-up and let me use it a bit, explore, story-wise. But no, it's every step in the story, boom, you gotta go back, you gotta get this, you gotta get that in order to come back and continue. So I would have felt less rushed to go get the next upgrade. That's not to say there aren't any fun diversions. In fact, just walking my way to the next mission and discovering new side secret sections to explore were some of my favorite parts in Savage Planet. But still, the constant roadblocks and go get the upgrade first began to weigh on me and take away from the enjoyment of this beautiful game. And I mean beautiful. I'm a fan of vivid colors in games, and there's no shortage here. You start off in Christmas snowy land, and then you're off to green water-filled sections and even caves that are surprisingly open. The game does well creating nice open spaces even when indoors like caves. That's due to the fact that this game, in addition to being a crafting game, is a serious platformer. You'll be making your way up mountains and cliffs all throughout the game. Only a handful of times did I feel the controls were at fault for a certain death due to platforming. So very good platforming controls that hopefully they perfect in part 2, if there is a part 2.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
You become equipped with upgrades like a grapple and a double jump to mix up the platforming a bit. It's fun leaping over pitfalls, soaring above floating islands, and it doesn't get boring. Enemy variety could be a bit better, but some enemies are outright annoying. This game loves throwing additional enemies at you during a boss fight. I hate that in video games. I feel like it's a cheap way to increase difficulty. It's like shoot the boss's weakness, platform your way around them. Oh, and shoot those additional enemies. Oh, and survive. Very annoying, but I managed. Speaking of boss fights, they do seem a little too long, and not in a good way. They almost seem like as if they were padded out for time just to make them seem grander than what they really are. But I still enjoyed them. It's very satisfying to defeat a boss, as it is in any video game. Your character is equipped with a slow firing pistol. I didn't mind it, it forces you to be accurate and wise about how many bullets you have left. It adds to the whole I'm here to explore and survive nature of the game. You're not here to kill everything in sight with an MK-15. The pistol can be upgraded with a power shot or a faster reload. Nothing extraordinary. Again, I feel they wanted to keep the gunplay at a minimum as far as how powerful you feel. Definitely the most fun is just exploring, seeing if there really is a way up to that platform and discovering a new hidden path. You won't do this for nothing either. There's health and stamina upgrades to find, which I recommend doing since the game's boss fights get hectic and long. The last thing you want to do is die at the last phase of a boss fight and have to repeat the whole process over again. In conclusion, if you're looking for something light in story but heavy in gameplay and exploration with lots of secrets to find, then I heavily recommend Journey to a Savage Planet.